On my shirt. All right, welcome back to another episode of Inboxing. Inboxing is the podcast all about email marketing, and today we have an amazing guest. Uh, this guy has been doing email for a very long time, even though he's very young. But I don't want to make him sound like a grandpa, but yeah, but he knows his stuff, and he could write a book, or he could, but it'd be great. Basically, he's the CEO of a company that's doing amazing work. They said, I think their tagline is they're doing artwork out of email marketing. So anyway, without any further ado, please welcome Allan Levy.
Hey, hello.
Hey, Allan, I feel like that intro didn't really do you justice, but we'll
That's
get into it,
fine.
and
It's
then maybe
fine.
at the
It's all
end I
good.
can.
My
Hey.
pleasure to be here.
All right, it's really great having you, and I really appreciate you taking the time. All right, so let's just jump right in. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got yourself involved in the email industry.
Sure. So, father of three boys and one daughter-in-law. Uh, uh, my I spent the first half of my career in the wholesale retail industry. Worked for a company for about 10 years, grew the sales division for that company, and then took them internationally, built that company out internationally. And then I started a couple of my own apparel ventures. Those were in apparel. Started a couple of my own apparel ventures. In 1999, I kind of got the bug. I thought that I saw the internet coming, and I raised money and built out a company. We, as most early stage venture companies do, we pivoted a couple of times. We started out in e-commerce, pivoted to B2B, and ultimately pivoted to lead generation, online lead generation, where we grew a list of about 40 million people. We had 150,000 to 200,000 people a day signing up on our various sites. So significantly more actually coming to the sites. And email became our primary source of revenue. We had to be very good at it. You don't mail 40 million people every single day. You determine who's going to be responsive, but what the best offers are, and you do a lot of testing. In 2007, that was 2001 through 2007. 2007, I saw that retailers weren't doing a very good job of what we were doing in the lead gen field. Retailers were basically batch and blasting everybody on their list, and when I'd talk to friends in the either D2C or e-com or e-com, and they would tell me that, yeah, we send emails 3 times a week and they do great, and they couldn't define it. I'd ask, well, what percentage of your sales are coming from the emails, and they'd look, that looks like somewhere between 5 and 10%. I said, well, if you've got loyal customers, which they did, then you should be looking at 30% of your revenue coming from email marketing. And we took them on. I took them on. I started a business and took them on as clients. And it was very, very easy because we basically took a commission on the increased sales lift. They were happy with that because they were already generating, let's say $1 million a year from email. And we walked in the door and turned it into 2. They were happy to give us a piece of the extra $1 million that we're generating. And thus a business was born.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah, you looks like, yeah, it's really interesting to hear how early you got it. Like you knew, batch and blast was not the way to go. And yeah, so today, what do you see happening in your inbox, that makes you kind of cringe, or like, oh gosh, I can't believe they're still doing that?
What makes me cringe is the most is a company using the same subject line more than once. Subject lines. We developed a tool called Subject Line Pro. If you use I'll do a quick plug here. If you go to Subject Line Pro and use the code word beta, BETA, you can test it for free. It's a $500 a month service, but we're offering it for free to anybody for the next couple of months. Just use the coupon code beta and you can get in. But subject lines are just so easy. It both is a recommendation tool, so it'll recommend subject lines, and it'll use AI to optimize the subject lines and tell you which are the best. So if you put in 10 subject lines, it'll tell you. So putting in the same subject line multiple times makes me cringe. The second cringeworthy thing is using the same creative, but not so much as the same subject line.
All right. All right. So, all right. So you start Alchemy Works, or like you came on later?
I started a company in 2007 called SellUp, and that was the company I built. And Alchemy Works was started in 2001, and I acquired 100% of that company in 2017. We bought out the company and all its assets in 2017, including the team and the founder who are still part of our team today. So that's what my decision to. We were predominantly mid-market and emerging companies that we were servicing, and Alchemy Works had a handful of enterprise companies like Disney and Universal Music and CDW that they were servicing. The interesting thing about it was Alchemy Works was in the business of building out the perfect program. So they would build out all of the triggers for a client and optimize those triggers. But those were all short stint consulting gigs. So they would come in, do a great job for 6 months, collect a check and be gone. It's not the business model that I built. We have clients that started with us in 2007 and 2008 and are still clients today. So I was able to take our model of reiterative testing, ongoing testing, test and learn, and take that and bring it to the enterprise clients. And today I can proudly say Disney has been a client since the acquisition, 5 years, CDW client since 5 years, UMG a client, I can go on the list. And we've expanded. We have about 15 enterprise clients and about 110 emerging, mid, and large size clients that we work with today in the company. And we consolidated under one brand. We gave up the SellUp brand. It's still a corporate entity, but we gave up the SellUp brand about a year and a half ago and consolidated everything under the Alchemy Works brand.
Okay. All right. So you just gave a little bit of a history of Alchemy Works, but you said it started in 2001. So there must be a lot that happened before 2017.
There was a lot that happened. They did and continue. We continue to do great work. The history of Alchemy Works itself was similar to SellUp, working in the email field, but again, working with enterprise clients such as American Express and eBay and others. And when we took it over, I can give you a better history of SellUp, which I started in 2007. SellUp does great work with its clients. We do everything from the way we operate is we'll come into a client and do a free analysis. So we'll look at your email program, anybody's email program, and we'll do a free deep dive analysis of the program. If you're not doing 35% of your revenue, 40% today, 40% of your revenue should be coming from push messaging, email and SMS combined. If 40% of your revenue as an e-commerce company is not, then you need to talk to us, and we will show you. We will literally show you exactly what you're missing out on. You don't have to hire us. We'll do it for free. We'll go through. We'll do a full, comprehensive diagnostic of your current program and show you what you're missing out on. And based on that, if you want to try us out, we offer a 4-month paid trial, but that diagnostic is free. And that has been how I started the company, giving advice, giving free information out from the beginning. We started with Elf Cosmetics. They were a small company at the time. They were a $4 million company. Today, they're a few $100 million public entity. But when we started with them, they were doing $4 million in total. Their email program was $500,000. We stepped in, and within a year, they were doing 2 million in email from $500,000. So that was, and then the email program grew, the rest of the business grew. The founders of Elf went on to buy other businesses, and each one of those businesses came in as a client and is still a client today of our company. And that's what we do. We help our clients retain their customers, and 90% of our clients stay on year after year after year, because we just do a good job of delivering not just strategy, but we do full execution. We've got about 20 people in our design and copywriting team. So we do design, copyright, email builds, everything. And then, weekly test, report back, and review the results. That's what we do, and that's pretty much the history and the today of the company.
All right. All right. So what do you love so much about email marketing?
It's right and left brain. It is data driven, and I love the fact that you can prove things out with data. You can come up with a hypothesis and be totally wrong. You could say, this has to work. I'd put it to work and be totally wrong. The data can prove you're wrong. Or you can be right and just, reap in the money. The beauty about email is that you can test so many things. So the creative part, you come up with ideas, unique ideas. You want to test something. It's a great platform for testing. It doesn't break your brand. It doesn't hurt. You test to a small group. You can test differently to different segments, buyers, prospects within your list, high value buyers. You've got the medium to do that. And when something works and the data reports that it works, boom, you just scale it. So I just love the flexibility, the versatility, and the absoluteness of the data in it, as well as the fact that it's such a great creative platform.
All right. So what do you do in your role? Yes, you got everyone else working for you. So are you on recruiting?
Yeah,
or
I have 120 people. I don't think we just hired another one today, so maybe it's 121 people working for me. I like to, I do everything in the sense that I like to get my hands dirty. I speak to clients often. I like to know what's going on with my clients, and it teaches me what we bring to the table is not just the data and the intelligence. We also bring the fact that we speak to learn from one client and share it with others. Not proprietary information, but if we test something with the client and it can work with others that are non-competitors, we bring it across to them, and everybody wins, and we bring back things from clients. So I do a little of that. I do a lot of working with my team and helping them. My calendar is full with meetings with my senior management team. We have a full stand-up team meeting with everybody in the company every Monday afternoon. So we get to share ideas back. Everybody, people in marketing can share what they're doing with the people in design or people in production who may not know what marketing is doing. So we have a chance for everybody to get together every single Monday. But my job is really to help my team improve their skill set, get better at what they're doing. I don't do a lot of the recruiting, right? We have somebody internally who does our recruiting, and each one of our managers recruits, does the hiring internally. So I spend my time in really helping improve and trying to come up with some crazy ideas to test.
All right. So, all right. So what are your top, you've been doing, like I mentioned, you've been doing email for a really long time, and you mentioned testing a lot. So that'll probably come in here. But what are your top 5 tips, especially for this coming year? We're testing, where we might have lost some of the data. Data is very important to this industry, but with Apple, doing their shutdown, shutting the faucet on all their information.
I'm not. For email, it's insignificant what iOS is doing. If you're a good marketer, if you're a good email marketer, you shouldn't have been looking at open rates anyway. That's a fallacy to look at open rates. You should be looking at engagement rates. We've always looked at engagement rates. Open is always at the bottom of our list of what we look at. Number one, first and foremost, is frequency of purchase. How frequently and how much have you purchased in a lifetime? So we're split buyers and non-buyers, and then frequency of purchase, and then engagement. How recently have you clicked on an email? How recently have you just been to the website? Those are much more important than open. Open is way down on there. So I'm not so worried about Apple. Number one on my list is test. You must test. If you're not testing subject lines, you're a fool. You can improve click rate by 20 to 30% by just testing subject lines. So if I could give you a tip right now to improve your revenue by your click, and clicks tend to be 90% associated directly with revenue. If I could give you a tip to improve your program by 20%, all you have to do is test subject lines. Use our tool. It's free right now, or use your own. Plug it again, Subject Line Pro. But use, do live testing of subject lines. You will get a 20% lift. So if you did $500,000 last year in email, you will do $600,000 just from testing. Study the data. Don't be a fool. Study the data, understand the data, look at what's happening. Don't trust your gut. I think this is a better creative than that. Test it. If you didn't test it, you're making a mistake. We've proven ourselves and our clients wrong multiple times by testing things, and everybody wins at the end when you test. So you trust your gut. I think this is better, so I'm just going to go with it. Bad move. Leverage iOS. You mentioned iOS, right? iOS is a huge opportunity in 60 to 70% of the users who are on some type of a Mac device, whether it's an iPad, an iPhone, even if they're not opening up in Mac Mail, Mac's email client or Apple's email client, they're going to get all their opens downloaded, and because of that, there's no lag time in seeing video and seeing heavy images and seeing other things. We're going to be very, very change the way that email looks in the next couple of months, because thank you, Apple, you've delivered us the opportunity to put heavy loads into email, and the user doesn't have to wait for the download. So more videos in email, much more in animation in email. And then it gets me to number 5. Find a way to use NFTs in email. What are you going to do? We're exploring it right now. How are we going to use NFTs in email? Are we going to buy NFTs and just share them in email? Are we going to make our emails into NFTs and share the value back? We're working and exploring it, but we're talking about two visual digital mediums, and to not figure out how to combine the two is foolish. So those are my 5 tips.
All right, awesome. All right, so let's go to the flip side of that. What are your top mistakes?
Well, it's similar to my top the top tips, but trusting your subjective instincts. Oh, I think that's a prettier picture. People will go for it, that's definitely the top mistake we've seen. Number 2 is not testing. I don't need to test. I'm too busy to test. Right? You're literally taking money and putting it on the table and saying, I don't want this money. I'm too busy to improve my email program by 20 to 30%. Number 3, not segmenting. Sending everybody the same message, talking to your prospects in your list and your buyers in your list and your high value buyers the exact same way. Big mistake. right? You never tried a brand. You happen to sign up at one point because you're browsing a website, and you're getting the same message and the same frequency as somebody who says, "I love this brand. I buy it every 2 months. I replenish. I buy from it." Why? It's not fair. It's not the right way. It's not the way to communicate with people. So not segmenting, understanding the segments, understanding the cadence to send to those segments, how frequently each segment should get delivered, the messaging to those segments. It's very possible that if I'm a very, very loyal customer to a brand, I can take a lesser discount and still make a purchase and be happy with it. Take the money that you were going to give to me, the loyal customer, and go give it to somebody else who's never bought your brand before, right? Give me 20 off instead of 25, right? So I got 20 off, and you could have 30 or 35% off to give them to try your brand. And then once they come in and become loyal, they'll get 20. So they're first time buyers, so it's about segmenting. Speaking to say everyone the same, and that goes to tone. There's a lot of ethnicity, in the country. Brands should speak in a different tone to different ethnic groups, to different genders. Sending a predominantly male list the same message you would to a female list, or if you have product that's if you're selling male and female product, or if you're selling product that's geared towards any specific ethnicity, then make sure your voice is correct. Make sure that you're speaking the right way to each one of the groups and the audiences. And then I'm going to go back to number 2 on my list of email mistakes, and that's not testing. So, in real estate, it's location, location, location. In email, it's test, test, test.
All right, awesome. All right, so you mentioned this, with Apple now you can really send 5 megabyte, 10 megabyte files to your Apple customers. What other ways are you seeing email changing in the next 5 years?
I think there's going to be a huge confluence of email and social, as well as SMS. We're already leading the charge there. We manage push social for many of our clients, and we manage social retention for many of our clients. As iOS changed the rules about 6 or 8 months ago, and many mid-size and large retailers are banning social media because the tracking isn't allowing them to see the type of revenue that they used to see. So they're realizing their return on ad spend isn't there. So those companies are dropping from the agencies, some of the larger agencies in social that aren't handling enterprise and branded clients. The ones that are handling enterprise and branded clients don't have a problem. The enterprise and branded clients are flocking to social, realizing that the metrics are there better than better than television or cable. And so what's happening is the prices in social are rising, and the return on ad spend is plummeting for the small and mid-sized companies. So they're leaving social, and now they're left with no retention program on social. So we're picking up that. We're managing the overall program. We're able to take email, unsub lists or inactive lists and push them out over social and target them. We are able to optimize our clients' SMS. SMS should be at least 10% of your overall performance revenue, but it's a very expensive medium. So it's a matter of targeting and segmenting, and we do a very, very good job of determining who's going to respond in email, who's going to respond in social, who's going to respond on SMS. So we do a job of pulling that all together, and I see a huge confluence of that over the next 5 years.
Okay, awesome. All right, so you've done a lot of stuff in email. So what are your proudest email achievements? You talked about your Worx, that company. That's got to be up there.
No, it's up there, but we've Worxed a lot of companies. We've literally, when I started pitching the company in 2008, 2009, I went out there and said, we'll grow your revenue by 200%. I think I might have even had sometimes I've even said 400%. And so we've done that, and we continue to do that. So yes, that was a proud achievement. I think certain companies staying with us after they were acquired. We had a company, Swimsuits for All, that we started with when they were a $2 million business, and you know, same thing. Their hottest month, the best months of the year are May, June, July. We took over managing their program in August, I think, of 2009, maybe it's 2008 or 2009. The revenue, still remember this, the revenue at that time for July was $60,000. August was slated to be 50. Email revenue for the month was slated to be 50. We got it to 90. So in August, which was supposed to be a down month, we increased the revenue by 50%. And then the following year, we took a program which had been doing, I think, about 300,000 for the year, and took it to $1 million in email revenue. Then the beauty of that is we continued to work with Swimsuits for All as it grew to a 30 or 40 million dollar business. They subsequently were sold to Full Beauty Brands, which is a billion plus e-commerce player with 11 brands: Romans, Women's Thin, Elos, and several others. And we've continued to work with and expand our relationship with Full Beauty Brands since the acquisition. So very, very proud that we are able to come in, build with a client, and continue to grow. One of my other proud moments were just seeing campaigns that work, you know, offline. You know, I remember walking into the Body Shop back in 2008 and seeing that they had a promotion: buy one, get one 50 off. And I said, that's a great promotion, right? And I brought it to my client, one of my clients, and I said, we really should run this: buy one, get one 50 off. And they were like, we can't run that. The most we can do is 30 off. We can't do buy one, get one 50 off. I said, no, it's buy one, get one 50. Yeah. The most we can do is 30 off. And then I continued to explain that buy one, get one 50 off was only 25 off. We tested buy one, get one 50 off against 25 off, against 30 off. And the consumer was just as confused as my client was. And we did better with BOGO 50 than we did with 30 off. And so they improved their margin significantly, and the promotion did better. And now we had another offer to add into the rotation. So, you know, things like that, those are just proud moments.
Right. Yeah, that's great. There we go. All right. So, all right. What are your favorite brands in the inbox? Like, who do you look at as potential clients? Well, because you're doing great stuff, but
there's some players in, you know, in fashion and cosmetics that just do great stuff. MAC Cosmetics does great stuff. They do some templated stuff, which is a shame because it just doesn't go. But I think it's awesome. Gucci, you know, as a brand, does great work in branding, and they leverage email to really extend their brand, and they do a phenomenal job with it. So if I look at, you know, what do I look at for edgier emails? I look at both MAC and Gucci as client, you know, it's not clients, as brands that do a great job, really clean out their edgy. If I look at companies that do a great job of explaining themselves, Williams-Sonoma, I think, does phenomenal. Their emails are clean. They're to the point. They give you enough information. Their photos are great and appetizing. So when you talk about e-commerce, you know, it gets you to click and learn more and click into the products. And then I'm a cyclist, so Competitive Cyclists actually is a cycling niche, you know, cycling brand, and they do a phenomenal job. Nice, clean emails very to the point. They do, again, great shots of their product, and none of these are really highly promotional brands, but you can use these looks and templates and layer in promotions if you want to, and so those are companies that I'm impressed with.
All right, awesome. All right, so all right, what are your favorite campaigns? Could be your own or other people, but like a campaign that really hit you and you're like, holy cow, that was amazing.
I love a mystery sale. I just love a mystery sale. If you want to get people to click, and you want to build engagement, run a mystery sale. And I just think anything, secret sale, mystery sale, you can have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of different ways that you can execute on it, and it's something that I really enjoy seeing the performance of a mystery sale. Conversion is going to drop down a little because you're going to really supercharge clicks. So where you would typically, let's say, get 10,000 clicks, now you're going to get 15 or maybe even 20,000 clicks. At the end of the day, you're going to get the same amount of sales or maybe a little bit more, but you've just grabbed so many more people to your website, engage them with your brand. You can then, they should be in your trigger funnel for cart and browse abandonment, and they should be rising up now in your list of highly engaged and get a more frequent cadence. So I love a mystery sale. Before running a mystery sale, and I do believe people should run mystery sales, if not monthly, at least every 6 to 8 weeks. You should run a mystery sale. 2 weeks before running a mystery sale, run either a thank you or a sorry campaign. Sorry you missed our Black Friday sale, right? So the subject line shouldn't be sorry you missed our Black Friday sale. The subject line should be sorry, sorry Allan, sorry Hillel, sorry whoever you're addressing. The subject line should be simply, oops, we messed up, something like that. That gets people to open, right? And when they open, there must be a reason for the apology in the subject line. So the subject line can be leading, but there must be a reason for the apology in the subject line. Sorry if you bought from a competitor. Depends on what you want to use in the content of the email. But certainly put those together, you'll get a high group of opens. So you've basically pushed your engagement level up, and people who have now engaged with email, and then you run a week later a mystery sale. So you've got people who have engaged with your email. They're going to be opening your next few emails. They get the mystery sale the following week, and you're sure to enhance sales. And we do that with all of our clients the month of late October, early November, priming the pumps for Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Right,
and the other one is a thank you sale. So if you run a mystery sale, then alternately 3 weeks later you can run a thank you sale. People just want to know what, and so those work a little bit less powerfully than sorry, but those are good stuff.
All right, awesome. All right, so we've come to the end. Yeah, so you have the floor. Just any final thoughts you want to share?
Yeah, I think every once in a while you see something that says email is dead, or this new next generation of people aren't using email. And look, we use a lot of tools as a company. We use Slack very, very heavily, but we still use email for internal communication. And even with SMS coming up strong, and social media being strong, and TikTok, in particular being strong, TikTok, Instagram being very, very strong. Email is still the primary channel that people are comfortable conversing in for e-commerce. So if you're in e-commerce, or if you really have a lot of content to send, and if you have a brand and you want to create a brand image, there's nothing better than email to convey that brand image. We're seeing email engagement rates still rise this year. Email I'm sure the numbers will come out in a week or two, and for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, engagement, and I'm positive. I mean, from what we're seeing in our clients, email engagement is as good as previous years, if not better. And so, I think just embrace the channel, leverage it, test, have fun with it. Talk to me about how to use NFTs in email. Talk to me about a free analysis. I'm here. We'll do a free analysis for you and show you what you need to do. But those are my final thoughts. And appreciating, Hillel, thank you for having me on here.
Oh, for sure. Really, thank you for coming on here, and I learned a lot. And just wish you, happy holidays. As we're in the middle of one, and for the rest of the world, there's about 25 days to go. But it was a lot of fun. All right, I'll let you go. That's our show for today. If anyone's interested in inboxing sponsorship opportunities, there are opportunities to sponsor. We're going to be, processing these and turning them into a real podcast. And oh gosh, I'll edit this out. But just to finish up, so just say if anyone's interested in sponsoring, it's hilleberg.com/sponsor. We have a lot of opportunities, small ads, bigger ads, all kinds of stuff. So take a look there, and and that's it.